Hello, everyone. Welcome back to That Sounds Gay. My name is Jer. We are here with Jesse. That sounded sufficiently gay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are moving on back to the UK.
UK, hon. I
UK,
feel like
hon.
we were just in the UK,
Like minutes ago.
but we're back.
But we're back.
We've been all around the world and been around the world and yeah.
How does it feel to be back in the UK for you so quickly?
Yeah, I feel like there's a much bigger gap between UK 1 and 2
Oh, huge.
than between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Also, just like culturally,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like, because now it feels like we're still in like pandemic. Like,
Yeah.
all the pandemic seasons feel like they happen in the span of 1 year.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you know, the pandemic is like one long, crazy year.
One
kind of.
big fever dream.
Yeah. It's like a year, but also like a decade.
Right. This is the third version of an international series. Canada is just about to hit number 2. Down Under still has not been announced for a second. España still unannounced. Thailand's on hold.
She's on pause.
That's everything that exists at this moment, where we're at in the timeline.
Wow.
I don't even think Italia has been announced, but it's going to probably soon.
Isn't that what's next?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
No, Lies and Slander. Canada 2 is.
Oh.
Canada 2, I think, is announced. I have it in my notes here, but Canada 2 is announced somewhere after episode 2, I think. I know we normally do our like week roundup, but you haven't seen España finale yet. I already bitched to you about the Thailand shenanigans,
Yeah.
but I do have a theory that I want to run by you.
Oh.
I think that the talk show challenge, whether it's a day or night time talk show challenge, is cursed.
Really?
And that encompasses the newsrooms too. So season 3, Manila does that cursed character that causes all that buzz. Season 6, Jocelyn Fox asks Georgia about her abortion. Season 9, Charlie Hides refuses to lip sync. We get to UK 2, Ginny Lemon walks out. Holland 2, Vivaldi walks out. Or Vivaldi is cheating.
Oh, yeah.
In Thailand, the talk show challenge resulted in a bottom 4 beating out a top 2 contestant to get to the finale. And I heard that in one of the Philippine seasons, there's a girl who walks out during the talk show challenge.
Maybe so.
I think it's challenged. Challenged. It is challenged.
I think it's challenged.
I think it's challenged. And I think it's cursed.
You might be onto something.
I think.
The talk show curse.
Yeah. It just gets worse every time that it shows up.
Well, because isn't there what is it? There's another curse of like whoever wins this challenge never wins the season.
Oh, yeah.
I
heard
don't remember
about
what
this.
that is because it's not the Rusical.
It is.
Is it the Rusical?
It's the Rusical.
I think Sasha was the one to break. Oh no, Sasha didn't win. Anitra did.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's the Rusical curse too. I don't even. Yeah, they never win the season. No one has ever won the season after winning the Rusical. Crazy, right?
Who won Wig Loose?
Wig Loose, I think was.
Oh no, that was
Anitra.
Anitra.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, who won? And then
Camden.
Who won Oh, Camden.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And then what was the most recent season?
9.
What did they have a?
There was no Rusical in 9. They did a girl group challenge.
Yeah, and then
I don't think
what was 16's Rusical?
they had one, didn't they? Oh, Sound of Rusic. And that was, oh my God, the girl with the makeup that got way better as soon as she got off the show. Who did Don't Tell Me Not to Live, Just Sit and Putter. She's a theater girl. Plasma.
Oh, Plasma.
I had to run through my archives.
I was like, as soon as you said bad makeup, I was like, I'm not going to say a name.
I didn't say bad. I said it got better after the show.
Yes.
You filled in the blanks.
Oh, see, so I still outed myself. Goddamn.
So we are talking season 3, which is kind of nuts to be here. I want to start us out by talking about Veronica Green being in here in green body paint, taking her name very seriously.
Veronica Green.
in bold,
Yeah.
exclamation points with arrows underlined, stars around it. Green.
Wasn't it a little like egg on her face though to be dressed as like Elphaba, and then someone came and was like, "Oh, I was Elphaba." Like,
Elevate comes
Yeah.
in looking like Galinda,
yeah, and like being the like
the theater girl.
the theater girl. Yeah.
And even that look where it's her thinking, "Oh, I'm a theater girl," and Ella's saying, "Oh, well, I've been in Wicked,
Yeah, I've been in it.
been
Actually.
in it."
Not cosplayed, sweetie.
Poor Veronica's like, "Oh yeah, I've auditioned. You've probably beaten me for it." Like that was
Right
a
away, it was
setup.
like a wah wah.
Literally. I want to say I feel bad for Veronica. We went back and forth on her through a lot of that season. We were very complimentary about her, but then also shaded her. And, I think it's really sad that she couldn't continue the competition
Yeah.
because of COVID. It kind of feels even worse that she came back for this one because you can tell she was just not financially ready for it.
Yeah, and maybe not emotionally, but I think the thing with the pandemic is a lot of us weren't emotionally prepared for the trauma of that
Yeah.
and the after effects of that. And as we continue to try and just like live our lives, we were kind of like blind to all of the like effects of like how our brain have been
Yeah.
rewired and like everything we've been through and how that affects like how we navigate spaces. So
Mhm.
like that's just like it's such a like these couple of years that we're in right now with the show
Yeah.
are like such a couple like difficult years where for most of them I'm just like I don't know how you because most of them have been like not socializing for a year, not performing for a year. Like,
Right.
they haven't been doing like drag shows and stuff like they've been.
Maybe a parking lot here
Yeah,
and
and a an Instagram show.
there. Yeah.
So it's like to be like in drag, performing in person every day,
Mm-hmm.
competing when like you've hardly been in drag and suddenly you're competing in drag
Mm-hmm.
and you're having to bring the best of your best when you haven't even been like really active in it. Like it's not like because it's kind of like with anything you train for it, but with drag race like your job as a drag queen is kind of just training for drag
Right.
race. But if you're not even doing your regular day-to-day life as a drag queen,
How are you prepping?
yeah,
Other than, cinching and walking around in heels.
yeah,
I wonder if all their feet were just killing them. Because, like, I remember when I put on heels for the first time, as soon as the pandemic was over, just to, like, walk around in them, I'm like, ooh, my dogs hurt.
well, and I think about things too, like cinching for queens, like those queens who get super cinched, like, do you have to like just wear a corset around the house so you don't lose that like? Because you have to
Yeah.
like kind of. I'm assuming because if you have to corset train, you have to you can untrain.
Oh,
your
yeah,
body.
absolutely.
So like stuff like that, even where it's like getting like in a corset again, getting padded,
Mm-hmm.
the like effects on your face of the cosmetics and shaving daily
Totally.
if it's maybe settled from all of that like abuse.
And the constant scraping that first layer of your skin off from makeup.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's a daily exfoliant.
Yeah, a fresh layer, a dewy face revealed.
So Veronica returns this season, and we do have someone else who gets injured this season.
Yes.
We have the very lovely Victoria Scone, two V's, having problems with each other.
Veronica.
Having problems just in general, not with each other.
They
And
got beef.
they do now, according to my headcanon. Veronica, no. Strike that,
See?
reverse it. It's too many V's.
It's already these
It's
first
already-
couple episodes are going to be rough.
It's going to be real rough. Victoria doesn't come back for season 4, which is
No.
odd. Were they just not wanting to Miss Vanjie her, Because, like, we had someone return this season, so, like, did they just not want to bring her back? And Rue even mentions when she leaves, I don't think this is the last we've seen of her. But she doesn't even come back for UK versus the world. She comes back for Canada versus the world.
Yeah, such a strange choice, right?
Just a little bit.
Because it wasn't even that she said no, she wasn't invited back.
Cornbread.
So my theory is, well, because the top comment says like she got a better offer. She wanted to wait for prize money.
Oh, fully.
She was like, well, if I'm like potentially like an all-star, like
Mm-hmm.
can I get money
Yeah.
elsewhere? Like, can I do it for Rue? Like in the US? Like,
Yeah.
what's the tea here?
I wonder if they would ever do a UK All Stars. Like, we have 6 seasons worth of content.
Right? And like France and España already have.
And
Come
France
on,
and
girl.
España both did them at 3
Yeah,
seasons.
which is I don't mind because
No.
if they do a smaller cast and you just do 3 from each or something,
Mm-hmm.
like that is delicious.
Totally. Okay, so some of the other contestants we have this season are Kitty Scott Claus. Before all this Global All Stars fiasco,
Pre All Stars Gate, Global All Stars Gate, Gasgate.
Gasgate. The fact that it's gas is crazy.
It feels appropriate though to just call it gas in
Oh,
all
totally.
caps.
She is quite lovely. I enjoyed her so much through this season that I've
Yes.
seen so far. And can I say, she looks like a woman.
She's just a gorgeous, like Barbara Jean, like
Yes.
in high glam.
Yeah. She's like totally androgynous out of drag, but then gets
Yeah.
in drag and is like, that is a literal woman
Yeah.
shopping at Primark.
She's giving like like everyday woman, not
Yeah.
not like a read, but just like she's one of those people where they get in drag and you're like, I've seen this woman.
Yeah.
Like I've seen this woman somewhere.
She was unclockable. They thought she was Jada Pinkett Smith out there.
Me when I see Kitty. Oh my god, it's Jada Pinkett Smith.
Like she could be shopping out somewhere in drag and I'd be like, that's not a drag queen. That's a woman.
Yeah, no, fully. If she was in like I could see her in like a pink like t-shirt
Yeah.
and like leggings.
Yeah. Completely.
Just like at Walmart. I'd be like,
Just
hey,
chilling.
hey diva.
Yeah. I'd be like, you look fierce. I would have never ever clocked like, oh, that's a drag queen.
So the thing about Kitty, because you're talking about how nice she was.
Yeah.
I think the problem with Gas, crazy,
Crazy.
is she had the Miss Cracker phenomenon
Oh.
of like, oh, she's
In All
so
Stars 5.
she's so fun, she's so sweet, we love her.
Mm.
And then she came back and she was like a totally different character
Yeah.
in this iteration. And I think it was just so not what anyone was expecting from her.
Totally.
And like not, I guess, the character she established on 3. So yeah, I think that was a big part of why she got so much like negativity. Not that it was deserved at all, but
Yeah.
just that I think because the fans were expecting one thing and they got another,
Yeah.
which is a hard part of like having an established character on the show,
Mm-hmm.
or like trying to like when you like show one side of yourself on one season and then like maybe a different side of yourself on another season.
It feels duplicitous. I'm stealing that
Good
word from the Boulets. I've been listening to their podcast so much, and they say duplicitous all the time, and it's been picked up.
Isn't that one of their names, Duplicitous and Swanthula?
It is now.
Yeah.
We're just recanonizing
Dupe and
everything. Dula Swan. Dula Swana.
She's a doula?
She's a doula or is she a swana? Next, we have River Medway, who is quite
Love.
beautiful.
Do you like River?
So far, I'm enjoying her.
I love River. I feel like you would like River.
I'm liking her so far.
She's a hoot.
We have Scarlet Harlot, another addition to Drag Race All Scarlets versus Drag Race All Crystals.
She's one of the ones I can keep track of because Scarlet Harlot's a more memorable name.
Totally. She also looks like a woman. This is the one that Rue tells to do Macaulay Culkin, right?
Yes. Okay. We'll get to it, but I'm like obsessed with one of her runways. Like not the look, but just her presentation of it. She is a woman, and she's just so funny to me because she's just like a British dude, like
Such a goober.
just so gay, like a gay
Yeah.
British twink, but also like a gay British dude,
Totally.
out of drag and like such like a character in their own right.
Totally.
But then they like get in drag and they're this really gorgeous young woman.
Yeah.
But then they open their mouth.
They're like, oh, I might.
It's so
me.
funny because the way they talk, it's like a YouTube video of like, we put these bros in drag. But then like she is so like puss at the same time.
I agree. Next up, we have Vanity Milan. It's very fun to see kind of her early TV presence.
Origin
I
story.
saw her first in Canada versus the World. I saw her and not Veronica, Victoria.
Victoria.
There's too many V's.
Yep.
And they have the same cadence to them. I saw both of them in Canada versus the World 1. So that was my origin story for them. Similar to my experience with Kita Minaj. So many of these girlies I'm seeing for the first time. And Teresa
Or
in UK
Arantxa.
too. Arancha. Oh my God. So many goodies.
But like, and people like Arantxa is so fun to see their origin story. Cause like, oh
Yeah.
my God, look at this baby.
Yeah.
Vanity is like kind of baby, but I think more so she's just like, she's got it.
Mm-hmm.
I think like budget was like a little bit,
Yeah.
but I honestly don't feel like the UK girls get that much of like a budget increase like the US girls do.
Not at all.
Like they're not getting these like management companies like giving them contracts and doing
Right.
like set like shows with Voss and stuff. Like
They're also not making money at the end of it. So, like, why
Yeah.
invest thousands if you're not going to get anything back from it?
yeah,
Unless you're Vivian Panay.
yeah, but she definitely had like this TV glow up, the been on
Yeah.
TV already glow up
Totally.
that everyone has. Like she definitely got that.
She was like, I might win money. I might win 100K.
Yeah, because she's still a diamond. She's just like
Yeah.
a little unpolished of a diamond.
A little bit.
But she still glistens.
She's
and glows.
beautiful.
She and like her energy is so there. Like
Mhm.
I love her. She's such a like fun presence on this season.
Yeah. At this point, she's only been doing drag for a year. And I think this rainbow dress does show that.
Yeah, this rainbow dress.
It was a thing. It was definitely a thing.
Well, it's also I feel bad because she talks about how her partner makes a lot of her stuff. So I'm like, oh, the love of your life made this, so I don't want to read.
You're very generous. I won't be so much in the future, but we haven't gotten there yet. Next up, we have Ella Day, which we've kind of already talked about. I know of her because of Microwave.
Microwave.
I'm obsessed with Ella just from Microwave, so I'm excited to see more of her this season. We have Theresa May, who I loved
One
in
of
UK versus the World.
One of my favorite entrance lines of the entire show, probably.
Don't hate what I wrote it down. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Hate me because I'm an immigrant. That was crazy.
She's crazy.
She
and I love
is.
that about her.
Yeah, she's genuinely psychotic.
Can I say something?
I wish you would.
I think her run on UK3 is stronger.
Oh, then UK versus the World?
Yeah. Her looks that she brings this season, I think, are so gorgeous. I love her entrance look. I love both of the looks she has in this first episode. I don't love a lot of her looks on versus the World, I'm sad
Yeah,
to
I
say.
didn't love them either.
But I think she's a runway killer this season, save for a few looks.
Sure. One of them we'll talk about this episode, I believe. Next up, we have Victoria Scone, who we talked about a couple times already. This is the first AFAB identifying queen ever.
Huge.
Massive. And the fact we've never had this happen again, at least I don't think so, right?
No, there's one in Germany.
Okay.
Pandora
Fierce.
Knox.
Oh, I know this name.
You'll like her. I don't think we have any in like Philippines. I think they're all trans women.
And that's fierce.
That is fierce.
Yeah, I don't think it's happened again. I'm pretty sure it hasn't. We have Electra Fence. We can have Drag Race All Scarlets versus Drag Race All Electras. Versus Drag Race All Crystals. Could be 3 teams.
Wow.
These are the Scarlets. These are the Electras. These are the Crystals. And like, it's like Biggest Loser, where they had that one season where it was like black team versus red team versus blue.
Oh, yeah.
And then they just lose members one at a time. But the Electra group is only 2 people.
It's going to be Electra Fence and Electra from Down Under.
Isn't there another Electra somewhere?
There's also an Electra from Sweden who I love dearly.
Okay, then we got 3 for Team Electra.
I'm pretty sure her name is just Electra.
Are there any other really overdone names in the franchise?
I was trying to think about that. Like, I feel like there's gotta be.
Because if we pull those 3 Electras and then we pull Scarlet Envy, Scarlet Harlot, and Scarlet... What was her name in Down Under? Scarlet...
Scarlet O'Blackface.
Yes. Maybe not her then.
Yeah.
Maybe not her. I forgot about that. There's another Scarlet though.
There's multiple.
Yeah, we can get them versus Crystal Will See You Now.
Scarlet Starlet? Was that her name?
Scarlet Starlet. No.
No, I'm thinking of Scarlet Harlot. Just
Isn't there a Scarlet Starlet? I don't know. There's got to. Oh, there's a Crystal that's in the new season that's coming up. It hasn't aired by the time we're recording this.
Oh no, I'm just thinking of Starlet.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, there is a Scarlet Starlet. That's just a separate drag queen.
And then we can have versus. We'll find a fourth team, and then we'll just whittle them
Is
down.
there? If we just need, unless they're housing, we just need one more drag queen named Trinity, and then we can have a Trinity of Trinities.
Oh yeah,
Love.
I'm here for that. Yeah. So the next is Anubis. I have never perceived this woman ever.
Anubis, baby.
Did not recognize her. She came in the room and I was like,
Looking for
hello.
Anubis, baby.
What is this song?
Anubis, baby. Looking for a new love. Delta work versus Mariah.
But looking for Anubis.
Yeah. She is really, like you said, a flash in the pan.
Yeah. And I've never seen or heard of anything from this woman ever again.
The only thing I've seen is like online thirst. She gets a lot of thirst. She has a lot of thirst, and I showed you some of her looks, which were fierce.
They were very cool. Next up, we have Crystal Versace. I know this is our winner. People on the internet are not quiet about Crystal winning, and I think I'm understanding why. It's kind of, I don't want to necessarily equate her right now to Carmen, because Carmen, I understand why people jizz all over the place about her, but Crystal, I think I'm kind of understanding so far. I'm like, she's really good for being young.
Do you know what made me feel kind of old or kind of like weird? On the most recent episode of Canada, when the Virgo Queen said on her runway, seeing Crystal Versace and her long hair, it made me think, I want to have hair like that.
Oh no.
That was like, that was weird for me.
That was weird for me.
Her like referencing 19-year-old Crystal Versace as like a drag inspo
Jesus
was like really like, whoa.
That was only 3 years ago.
And that's like, because we talk about like Generation Rue.
Yeah.
But like there are people who are Generation Rue from people who are Generation Rue.
Generation New Rue.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Generation Rue.0.
Rue.0.
Roman Reloaded.
Rue loaded.
Rumen Reloaded.
Rue mixed.
Pink Furry Box Friday. Rumen Reloaded.
That's going to be the first lip sync song of Drag Race 17. The last Pink Furry Box Friday.
Did you hear?
Katy Perry.
I swear to God, if it's Woman's World. What if it's Woman's World by Cher in front of Katy Perry?
I'd be so into it. Like when they did that one, was that a Demi song in front of Kesha? Do you remember when they did that?
Was that in front of K dollar sign ha?
Yeah.
Was that in front of Ketchup?
K money sign ha. Was she there in season 7? Is that when they did The Ugliest Dress?
Demi was there for Ugliest Dress.
Was she?
Yeah, because I remember Pearl and Miss Fame did that awful lip sync in front of Demi Lovato.
Of her hand. Kesha was there. I don't remember what season it was, but Kesha was there and they did like a Demi song. They did a song that was not hers because I think she was still in her legal battles. So I don't think they could.
Damn.
I'm going to have to figure it out what she was in. Ke money sign ha.
I'm very disappointed that it's going to be Katy Perry.
Me too, honestly. Who would you have wanted to see?
Chappell Roan.
Oh,
she would have been a
fierce.
fantastic like trigger, like finger on the trigger. Guess who would do it? I think she is on this season. Well, I don't know if that's true. I heard that she's down to be a guest on Drag Race.
I would love to see Sabrina. Oh, what runway is this? I recognize. Is this season 9? Zaldi and Kesha. What dress is this?
Whoa, is that All Stars?
No, this is definitely a mainline season. Which one is she in? I'm on the wiki.
That looks like that might be. It's either 9 or 10. Is that a makeover episode? That's a makeover episode, isn't that?
10th episode of the 9th season. Crew better work.
She was laughing at
Cool for the summer.
Cool for the summer. She was laughing at Wintergreen.
Yes.
She like could not stop laughing at Wintergreen.
Yeah.
I was like, I remember her laughing at something
Yeah.
like really hard.
Okay, so then our very last queen in the workroom is Charity Case, looking monstrous. She legit frightened me, very like oopy spoopy.
Ookie spoopy with her little mouth.
This bitch.
She's so fun.
Yeah, love this bitch. No one's done that on Drag Race so far. Even like Evie wasn't like super spoopy.
Well, and she's
you know?
giving like spoopy prosthetic.
Mhm.
She's giving like blood and like dirt and all that. You know, there's many a rumor that she was asked to be on Dragula and she did Drag Race instead. And there's a lot of looks that she had that were either unaired or that she did use that line up with Dragula themes.
I would love to see that Venn diagram.
Yeah, I'll find it for you.
All right, so our very first mini challenge of this new season is Dirty Charades, which Rue is obsessed with.
What a way to kick off the season.
What do you think about that as a season off?
Nothing builds excitement like dirty charades. It felt like I was at an office party after 11 p.m. with too many
team
drinks.
building.
Like, it felt like, yeah. I don't know about that.
I don't know if I
It
liked
felt
it.
so like, well, it's funny because it's like dirty, but it felt so like, all right, mom's making us play this game. Like,
Totally.
like, let's do this. All right, grandma. Like, we'll play Scrabble.
We'll play
with
the
you.
game for you. Do you want me to put on the Santa hat?
Yeah.
I'll put on the Santa hat. I feel like that could be a fun challenge for like All Stars, maybe. Like a mid-season mini challenge or mini game or something.
Yeah.
For like a non-elim season where it's like, you'll get a star for this. I did think Teresa was hilarious. So funny.
I mean, it was a good chance to make them laugh.
Yeah.
And like make Rue laugh and like show that they're funny.
Mm.
I just like, yeah. Because some of them talked about the stress of like, I'm trying to like play to Rue, but also like play to win.
Yeah.
But also like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like that would be kind of stressful. Like, cause you're like trying to like be a good, like you're trying to like win for your team, but also you're like, I'm on TV. I have to be funny for RuPaul. Like,
there's so much to do for the first thing ever. Like just do a photo.
right.
Snap a
just
picture.
Take my picture, please.
Yeah. Can I just stand here and pose for a photo, please?
Please just let me pose.
And then our very first maxi for this season is Two Looks, Queen of Hometown, which we both love.
Love.
What do you think about favorite thing as the second category?
I think that's fun. It's very icebreaker. Where are you from? And tell me something you're into.
That's the whole theme of this episode. Icebreakers.
Sponsored by.
Ice break gum. Isn't that a gum flavor or something?
Well, it's
Icebreakers?
like, yeah, it's like a mint. It's like the one where it's like one or many, you know, where you can like flip it up and there's like the one where it dispenses a little boop boop boop.
Yeah.
And then you flip it up and then the whole thing comes out. That's the only way I made friends in high school. I had those icebreakers. I whipped out that pack of icebreakers and I was like, can I please have one? Friendship
and immovable bonds were formed in that day.
But yeah, I like it. I think favorite thing because it's again like tell us about yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that's also a fun like creative prompt.
Mm-hmm. Did you have any standouts? Unless you want to like talk about these.
I mean, some of them like don't need to be talked about.
Yeah, some of them should be forgotten.
Some of them can be lost in the sauce. I mean, for the most part, like, we'll start there. Do you agree with the top two? Were those your two like top looks, or was there anyone you thought did stronger than them? Because for me, I think I would agree. I think that I have to say their full name to see if it sounds right. I was like Victoria Scone, Veronica Scone, Victoria Veruca Scone. I think Victoria
Vanessa Van Cartier.
For me, part of me,
I
think Victoria had the strongest presentation.
Sure.
I think that first look, the flower, was just like so stunning.
Sure.
But then, okay.
Afternoon tea was fine.
Okay, here's what I'll say.
Say it.
Queens of your hometown look, winner, Victoria Scone.
Sure.
Favorite things look, winner, Crystal Versace.
Mm-hmm.
That cat look was like unfairly cunt to be
It was
produced by a
so
woman
hot.
of her age, and all a woman of her age. It makes
She's
it sound like she's
19.
50.
She
But
is a
even just like
19.
the way she performed the song in it,
Yeah.
I was like, she gets it.
Yeah. She understands.
She was fighting crime in the same city as
Okay, Kylie.
as Kylie. They were in the same city that night.
Oh, totally.
She was the crime that Kylie was fighting.
It was. It was.
Catch that tea.
Catch that tea you spilled. Okay, can I say something controversial, though, in comparison to what you said?
Say it.
Queen of Your Hometown winner for me was actually Ella.
Oh.
I loved her reveal, and I loved that it was about women's rights and women's liberation.
Okay, so that look is basically what I wish Ella's entire aesthetic was.
I agree.
Because when I hear the name Ella Vidae, I see some of the choices she makes. Because to me, this is almost like a character out of a theater, like out of a musical. Like she looks like she's in a costume for a musical, not in a bad way, but like I don't know. Because sometimes with her following look, sometimes she just tries to do like glamorous or pretty drag queen.
And that Pride Progress flag was not either one of those.
She has questionable taste, so I think it's more fun for her to lean into the kitschy kind of Broadway style.
What you do is camp.
Sensibility, yeah, because I think those are her more successful moments.
Absolutely. I will say though, Teresa's favorite thing look being art was kind of spectacular.
Oh, Teresa's art look, yeah, honorable mention. I actually, okay, in terms of who's I think is overall the best, I think Crystal's was the best, but in terms of what is my personal favorite, I would absolutely give it to Teresa's art look. That was my favorite look of the entire night. It's so cute. That's like totally like the kind of shit I'm about, and I love that like it's personal.
Yeah. I would have put Charity in top 3 because of that monstrous flower look, and then the freak show looks were so cool.
Well, and I think it would have been fun for her to at least gotten positive critiques in the first episode to kind of kick things off. Even if she had the rest of her trajectory, I think a high placement in the beginning would have been good for her.
Yeah.
Let's talk about...
Oh, poor Veronica. That bodysuit.
Let's talk about those
shoes. Bodysuit. She's wearing a bodysuit.
I just like
video games, computer games. But she's holding an N64 bedazzled controller with extra buttons on it that did not exist on the 64 controller.
In like a blue snowsuit.
That's a jumpsuit.
Is it not a snowsuit? Like, I'm sorry. Is it not just a snowsuit? It's got a fur hood, like lined hood. It's Mama. She's going skiing.
She's going to Aspen over the weekend.
She's literally in a blue like a xenon snowsuit with a fanny pack and like b-boy shoes
and snot green hair.
I was so deeply confused.
On top of her hometown.
On top of being Miss Cotton 1994.
See, I love what Canada is doing with judging the entrance looks, because I feel like all of that could have been factored in.
Yeah.
The get to know you ball scenario.
Yeah.
And I think just with the way that the green paint was peeling off, because I remember when this season was airing, one of the girls mentioned, it may have even been Kitty, that her makeup was rubbing off on everyone's dresses, and people were like getting mad at her and asking them not to touch her. Like, or asking her not to touch them. Like, don't
get your green on me.
Yeah.
This is the plot of Wicked.
It is. It's totally the plot of Wicked. Very, very surprising. She is not in the bottom.
She is safe. The woman is safe.
That woman was safe. I mean, Electra definitely deserved bottoms. I think Anubis deserved bottom. I don't know if I thought River was the worst in the bunch.
River was like low, but like you're safe, but we want to talk about you, but you didn't do good, so you're in the bottom.
Right.
Because I feel like the cone look, they wanted to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, okay, well, we'll make her low safe.
Yeah.
And we'll talk so we can like critique that. That's what it felt like
It felt
to me.
gross. It also, I mean, I've complained about this before, but it's a travesty to me that Rue and Michelle are in the UK where they do not have expertise in the area and they have to ask a contestant, can you please explain your garment to us? Because we don't understand it.
Yeah, whereas like someone from there would be like, "Oh, I know what you are. I love what you did with that,
Right.
etc."
Like, I could maybe forgive a little bit if, like, you know, on Drag Race season 25, RuPaul is like, Electra Vire, not Pokemon TM. Can you please explain your Akron, Ohio look? Because I don't understand it.
Not Electrovire.
Not Pokemon TM. It's the whole name.
I'm picturing like the Eureka loaf, but it's the green and the yellow, like their hair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Wait.
yeah.
Wow.
Not Pokemon TM, but like Poke is like with a dash on it, so it still doesn't break copyright. There's just like a lot of layers because we're running out of names by Drag Race 25. When Salt Lake City, Utah versus the World is about to air, you know, I would understand if Rue was like, I don't understand your Akron, Ohio look. I could forgive that because, like, who knows what's in Akron?
Do you know what drag name I think about a lot that we have? We're gonna get to in like 2 years.
What's that?
Drag Race France season 2.
Okay.
Obama.
Obama. Do you? Okay, this is like such a niche, random interview, but maybe 4 years ago, Utada Hikaru was like walking by somewhere, and someone was like, "How do you say your name?" And she goes, "Utada, like Obama." That is real. It's real.
Utada like Obama. I want that tattooed.
Me too. Let me get it on my chest this weekend.
Utada like Obama.
Utada
That
like
sounds like the
Obama.
start of like a verse.
Yeah.
Utada like Obama.
Dun, 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 dun. So we have a bottom 2 and a top 2 for this episode.
Okay.
Bitch.
Can I say I actually prefer this over having a top 2 lip sync?
Yeah.
I like the double lip sync.
Yeah.
High stakes.
Yeah. I would honestly love it a little bit more if it was like top 2, lip sync for your life, choose one person to be safe from the bottom 3, and then watch the other 2 battle it out.
Beaver it up.
But
Say
also
Melinda, let's put on a show.
yes, size up your competition and tell everyone who you think is the threat, who you want to get out of there early. Because it's like an immediate, hey, you won. Now choose someone to be safe. And then you don't have any time to think about it. You just got to do it.
Right now. Right here.
Right now. So we have Crystal and Victoria to Total Eclipse of the Heart. This is a really unlip syncable song, in my opinion.
It is. And I thought that especially Crystal really slayed the fuck out of this song. And like it hurts me because I was rooting for Victoria.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And like she went the comedic route, which again, hearts on the lip sync.
Yeah.
She, I think, was like, well, I guess I'll do it funny.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. And she had some couple beats where she did like the drop.
Turn
among
around.
other things. Yeah. But like Crystal was singing that
She
song.
was. Those words were coming out of her mouth.
She was giving 80s like rocker.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do you like know this vibe?
She was giving Pat Benatar.
Yeah, because it was like she was like really into like the ballad parts of it, and like she was doing that thing where she kind of like moves her head like while she's singing it, and like even just the way she would like move her body, like she's very like fluid and sharp.
Totally.
That mix is what I like about someone like Perla, who we just saw lip sync,
Yeah.
where like they're very in control of their body and they're very fluid, but they can like really hit hard and like hit fast when they need to, but they don't always do that.
Yeah.
They also know how to slow it down and like kind of give you the ups and downs. I really do
fantasy.
like appreciate Crystal's performance of this song.
She's everything in this performance.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed her. And Crystal rightfully wins. And this is the lip sync that hurts Victoria going forward because she slams her knee into the ground, which I want to talk about knee slamming in just a little bit.
Yeah.
Next episode, we're going to talk about knee slamming.
The perils of knee slamming.
The perils, mama. We also have Anubis and Electra to Sweet Melody by Little Mix. Actually, no, we're going to talk about it now. We're going to talk about knee slamming right now.
Okay.
Because this bitch, Electra, bounces on her knees like a frog.
The way that she moves is, I mean, it's short people things. As a shorter person, I understand that I have advantages in how I can move my body.
Sure.
It's a lot easier for me to touch my toes than it is other people. It's a lot easier for me to squat down, grab something real quick, all that. I could do a burpee faster than a tall person. It's
All
just
burpees.
like us shorter people,
Yeah.
we have more leverage. It's why it's why kids are so great at gymnastics.
Yeah.
Because their center of gravity, or even watching Dance Moms, some of those kids can do really cool stuff because their center of gravity, like when you're smaller, compared to someone like Utica, where you have all of the extra limbs flying around like an octopus.
Oh, totally.
She is this woman, Electra, is one of the smallest people that has ever been on Drag Race. She is itty bitty petite. And so like she can just throw her body around like a rag doll. That being said, no semblance of rhythm.
No
semblance of beat. She did not hit a single beat that entire song.
No.
And I'm all right saying that because it's one of those like unsatisfying videos where like the thing doesn't like fit in the slot, or like it's something slightly off or something. So you like her just like continuously not hitting any beat, any like even like a lyric, how like white people dance to lyrics instead of the beat.
Right.
She's not even hitting like the lyrics. She's just like she's jumping ahead next episode. What the fuck? As she's like breakdancing to Moving On Up.
I can't wait to talk about that. Yeah, it's crazy. Like she's got springs in her knees, and like Tia Coffee jumped on her knees a whole bunch. I feel like
Blue
Hydrangea. Like I'd message my friend Caleb, who is a Brit, and was like, "Do y'all just not have knees over there, or what? I know that y'all have national health care, but come on, there's no way y'all just be bouncing on your knees." And he said that they do some game when they're kids about bouncing on their knees. So like they just learn how to do this early to just thrash the shit out of their kneecaps.
Wow, they train them young.
But this bitch Electra does win, and Anubis becomes our Venus Delight of the UK.
Oh,
because it's not a pork chop after season one.
There's really a trend for UK of like, if you're really unique, you're probably gonna go home first.
Very that.
Because Gothy was one of the more unique ones of their season.
Totally.
Joe Black, like, come on.
Joe Black was a travesty going home first.
And like now Anubis, like I feel like
it's the young ones. Joe was like a young queen acting like an old queen. And Gothy and Anubis were both really young.
I forget that Joe's like 28 or something.
Yeah. And they all paint and act older. Like Gothy acts like a MILF. And Anubis acts like this like 40-year-old, what are those called? Archaeologist. Like she acts and dresses like a 40-year-old archaeologist. And Joe Black was very the vibe. I got that vibe from her. Like she'd be studying bones and like pulling out things from the dust and being like, a Tyrannosaurus. Put it in a bag.
I'm thinking very like how Jane dresses in Tarzan,
totally.
Like the khaki button up, like kind of like fitted coat with like glasses and like her hair pulled. Basically, just dressed like Jane at the beginning of Tarzan.
And Daddy, they took my boot. Next, we move on to episode 2, Dragaton.
Okay, we don't have to talk about this.
No, I do want to mention that we have the nastiest mini challenge ever, where Crystal is asked by herself to assign a bunch of roles to people in the group, and she says the star by the biggest competition is Victoria because she's the biggest in the room. Later apologizes, but she was like trying to be funny, and I don't understand like when people are trying to be funny why they go mean.
Yeah.
Like, especially with strangers. I can understand being mean with like, or fierce with someone that you're friends with, that you're close to, like be a little fierce. But you don't know him like that. Like you just met this diva. She gives trashy taste to River, which is like crazy because Electro is there. She gives the trade of the season to Ella, which I mean, that's obvious. Gives the totally irrelevant queen out of date to Veronica. That was so mean and
That
nasty.
was so hated.
I mean, to even
Well,
include that.
Well, yes. I will. Maybe she was like, oh, I should have given bad taste to her. I'll give her this instead.
And then we have a bug off, the next eliminated. Also really
I
mean.
love how it was like, who's hot? Okay, and then say some nasty shit about everyone else.
Who's boot nasty in this group?
Yeah.
Tell everybody who you think is the worst.
Yeah.
Gives that to Electra, thinking Electra is obviously out, and I mean, she was right.
The prophetess.
The prophetess. I mean, this was just really mean-spirited, and they have to do a...
That is a great drag name.
The prophetess?
Profit. Prophetess.
Oh my God.
Like Epiphany get paid.
Yeah. They could have countess and a prophetess.
The countess and the prophetess.
They could be a family, like a team thing, like all-stars teams versus the world. And then they do this random dance challenge. It was almost like the Disco-mentary. Like, it wasn't a rusical. It wasn't a proper dance challenge.
It was such a weird challenge that it felt like they made it up that day.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like the Holland 1 or season 3. I thought it was going to be like do a workout video with improv. And then it was on the main stage with choreography and music and lip syncing and yelling. A lot of yelling.
And can you believe that we have a very similar iteration of this challenge in an upcoming season?
We do.
I believe Down Under 3.
They tried it here. It failed. And they said, let's do it again.
I have a memory of a similar challenge in Down Under 3. It's more, I'll just say it's BMX bitches.
No, I hate that.
Choreography with BMX bikes.
I hate that.
So they didn't, after this episode, let go of the bike idea. Just want to let you know. They were like, no, we can still do this. I think this is a salvageable concept.
We could absolutely do this one more time.
Someone pitching it was like, listen, I know the first one wasn't great, but I think there's something with these bikes.
So we got something
Bikes
here,
and
Rue.
drag queens. Listen, it's a winning recipe.
That's what the people want. Bikes and drag queens. Let's get them. Let's get those bitches on these bikes. I want to know why they were all screaming first off. But I mean, Teresa was funny as hell. I loved her rolling all her R's, like going crazy
Teresa
on
was
that.
super funny. Teresa should have won.
I thought she should have won too. I also really loved Kitty. I thought she was just interesting, funny on the runway. No enunciation, but she was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Teresa a lot. Like you said, we don't really have to talk about this too much because it was a mess. The runway is red carpet showstoppers.
This is the runway I was thinking about earlier.
Oh no! Do you have any standouts?
Okay, I need to talk about my emotional standout. I will pull up the clip if you don't remember so that we can watch it.
Don't know.
Motherfucking Scarlet Harlot's presentation of this runway, I think about so much. Because she just comes, because she's talking about like she feels beautiful.
Oh, and she like looks up at the light, right?
She's
and,
like
takes it all
she's
in.
like greedy child, like grinning, like laughing.
Yes.
Like I think it's so
Maniacally.
funny. She's just like like
and like bathes
just,
in the light for a second, right?
Yeah, she's just like ecstatic, and I think about it so much because I think it's so funny. Like she's just like gooning on the stage, like in that stage. It's so funny to me, and
that's your emotional one. That's your emotional standout.
The way that I scrolled to it and literally like found it naturally as if it was by instinct. Like
you just
my soul.
Knew.
Also loved the guest judge of this episode. Wish she had been there for a different episode.
Oh, totally.
I hate when we get a good guest judge bad episode.
Yes.
She's like she
fully got a love ends inside of her right now while she's walking this runway. And someone at the judging panel is controlling it.
That greedy grin that she gives RuPaul, and then she like that, and then the tilting the head back someone just tipped her $5 like for real. I think that always made me laugh. Everyone looks gorgeous. Honestly, Kitty slayed this runway.
I really liked Charity's orange creamsicle fringe, and they did not love it.
Charity's look was freaking delicious.
It was so good.
For me, I would put Charity first. I would put Kitty. I just didn't like the fit of the boobs on Kitty. The boobs were a little big.
Yeah. They were a
But
little lumpy
I
too.
loved the fantasy for her.
Can I just say I loved Crystal? I think that this padding and the boob of the situation is really incredible. Like, I don't want to gatekeep drag and say that drag has to look any type of way, but I want a fantasy. And Crystal is giving me the fantasy.
She's giving you like ideal perfected proportions, smooth, unclockable. And I think also, I mean, it is for a lot of people, so I'm sure it was for Rue and Michelle, really refreshing and exciting to see that level of polish in like the class, like the quote unquote like traditional female illusion idea from such a young queen.
Yeah.
Because I feel both ways about it, because I'm all for embrace all bodies, and like I understand that there is like a very like classic like female beauty standard ingrained in like the idea of like the drag female illusion of like, you know, the hourglass figure, huge boobs, tiny waists,
Right.
tiny huge hips, etc. But also like in terms of like a trick of a trick of the trade, like a standard of the art form, like her mastery of it is crazy,
Insane.
like she like not like, because she toes the line of like huge boobs, huge hips without it being like Jimbo,
Yeah.
like cartoony,
Right.
or like, because some young queens when they do pad, sometimes the hips are too big, sometimes the boobs are crazy huge,
The
like,
hips
and they
should
have
match
tiny
those
hips,
shoulders, but they don't.
surfboard body, you know.
Up, down, pole body.
But like she's just got the body so right, and like, I mean, like obviously like she's a little, I love her also because she's like a little tacky, a little tasteful.
Totally.
Because there's like a certain like inherent tackiness to her, like,
oh, absolutely.
that I really like love.
Her drag inspiration is Raven. Of course, it's going to be a little tacky.
Because it's like clearly there's the elements of like high fashion and like runwayness of it, but then there's just something so like lovely and like classic tacky drag queen about it, and I just like really adore that about her.
Me too. There's this Japanese phrase that's bonkyubon, which means big, small, big. And it's literally like the idyllic proportions, and like that's what I want in a drag queen. I want to see the super cinched waist and the big hips, because it's a fantasy, it's an illusion, and I love that she's giving it.
Yeah.
And she does that great intersection of like glamour and camp where they meet right in the middle. It's just perfect to me.
Well, because yeah, I do appreciate that. I mean, she has a lot of like classic, just like beautiful things like this one, and she has a couple in the future, but then she has a lot of looks that are also like more than just like surface level pretty.
Totally.
Because also like she could get away with just wearing like pretty like non-specific kind of things, but she makes a lot of like bold choices as well, which are exciting. So yeah, we stand.
I think I understand why people really like her. I do want to say Electra looked like the UK shiny version of the fairy godmother from Shrek. I need a hero. Oh my god. What?
The Universal walking around version. Can I just say I hated this look.
I hate it so
The
much.
hood.
It's literally a silver fairy godmother from Shrek.
Pink sparkle hoodie dress.
Yes.
Okay, well that's the thing, is like the hood of the dress didn't make it look like a hooded dress. It looks like a hoodie.
Yeah.
It looks like a hoodie with a skirt. It was crazy because it was kind of loose in the top.
She looks like she's going to go boxing. Like,
we're going to box each other.
where did Adora get that? Where did that come from? She legitimately looks like it's going to like open up in the middle and there's going to be like a boxer suit under there.
For real.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but she's going to have like the belt on her shoulder. Like,
yes.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Last thought. Something happened with Victoria.
In a bad way.
Something was amiss.
And it wasn't her
just
knee.
me? Like, I don't know if this was the original planned look. It just feels so like on a different level than everything else that she brought.
Yeah, the hair's really flat and it looks like it just kind of took it out of a bag and went.
The
That's
hair
good
is not
enough.
there for me. The dress
It needed to be
is not there
steamed.
for me.
It's totally wrinkly.
Even though like the makeup, like her eyes like weren't like the same. Like I don't know, something was off. I mean, she was in pain, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
totally.
She was struggling. The woman could not walk.
Right.
But like
Something happened.
Something happened.
Did the rumors ever get confirmed that what Willem was touting around at this time? That they only had like one day for everything?
Some queen said no, it wasn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
who's to know?
Who's to say?
So the lip sync is Vanity and Elektra to moving on up, moving on up. As soon as Vanity hiked that skirt up, it was over. It was over.
She was a lot more controlled
than Elektra's 150 splits and her breakdance.
Michelle's genuine confusion and distaste was honestly one of the best things I had seen in a couple years.
Incredible.
Because it's like, it takes a special kind of something for them to, it almost broke through her judging veneer.
Totally.
I feel like that was genuine confusion and slight
That
disgust.
was Michelle. That was fully Michelle. But I love that. What the fuck?
That was not Mother Michelle.
No, that was viewer at home.
That was like season 3 Michelle.
Totally. These are breasts.
Like, it was so good.
It was insane. And then she jumps off the stage like she's Kennedy Davenport in Roar.
Yeah.
But does it badly.
But again, like same thing, like no semblance of like trying to hit on the beats or the impacts of the song. Just throwing every which move out.
But none of them are correct. Vanity is in, Elektra's out. But wait, Rue. I have another lipstick. Because Victoria's called forward and is told that the medics will determine the following day if she can keep competing. That was nuts. Because not only did they not say, wait, Elektra, don't leave. We might have to eliminate
No, we're
this
still going to
bitch."
eliminate you.
Right. And then even the following episode, they don't go, don't worry, no one's going home today.
Could you imagine if they had been like, but Elektra, not all hope is lost.
That would have been sickening.
No, that would have been, listen, this would have been emotional turmoil. Listen, if they had brought out Victoria and been like, pending a medical assessment, Elektra, you may still have a chance to join the competition. So she's like praying that Victoria's injured so she can come back.
You're so right.
And then Victoria's injured and they still don't bring her back. Because that's what happened.
Because then Michelle goes, no, we're not doing that.
Or even have brought back Anubis. They didn't do
that would
anything.
have been sick.
They just said, no, she's gone and we're not bringing anyone back. Let's just keep it pushing.
I get, like, they really did not care.
Yeah, we can film every other day now instead of every day.
At the end of this episode, Canada 2 is announced, which I mentioned, and they announced that Tracy's a regular and Amanda Brugel is going to be regular. I thought that was important to note
Brugel.
Here. So that had very big energy.
Oh.
So we moved to episode 3, The Great Outdoors, where Rue announces one, Victoria's out. And
Victoria's gone.
Victoria's gone is out. They have not seen the last of her, but no invite for UK4. So fuck her drag, I guess. They have to do one of the worst mini challenges I've ever seen, which is to do butch masculine drag for a straight dating app.
Yes.
What in the fuck?
Yeah.
I hate butch drag.
I hated it.
I don't want to talk about it, other than I thought Choriza was really funny.
I was going to say Choriza was really funny.
Yeah.
Someone else made me laugh, but I can't remember who it was.
Scarlett was pretty funny. She wins.
Oh, Kitty. I think it was Kitty made me laugh.
Kitty was pretty funny.
Kitty just did Femme, right?
Yeah.
Which, like, we've seen it, but I think it's funny if you don't want to do butch drag, just be super Femme and be like, hi.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
My favorite thing, though, is that they thought straight men have spotty tans and are missing teeth. Like, they were told, do butch, masculine, straight drag.
And they basically did what Americans would call a redneck.
Yes!
like damaged skin, missing teeth, like flannels, denim, overalls. Like, it was literally just like Alabama.
Where Alabama and Nebraska meet each other.
Yeah. Alaska. or wait, or Nalabama. Sorry, it went away from me. It left me. I'm so
We
sorry.
lost the plot.
I
We lost the plot here.
Too late.
So we move to the maxi, which is 2 campy looks, which we just had this in Holland too,
Yes.
where they had a glamping challenge. I want to know which World of Wonder exec had a bug up their butt about glamping this year.
They were all about the glamping from home fantasy.
Yeah.
They were all up on Pinterest during lockdown. They probably bought like a RV trailer during lockdown with all that extra money, and we're like, we're gonna renovate it. You know, they were probably all into the fantasy.
So I have a couple questions for you, interview
Lay 'em
style.
on. Oh God.
One of them, question 1.
If it wasn't for a last minute decision, no.
Bye.
I love that's all I had to say.
I already knew
You already knew what was
exactly
happening.
what you were talking about.
Chad. So, Chad. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
I grew up in the Great Depression. Wow, that's so cool. We had no food, honey. Wow, that's amazing.
I love that.
I love party. Yeah, we were really poor and dying.
Great.
Love that. Love pink.
Uh,
Which of the glamping challenges do you prefer? Holland's or UK2? 3 was UK3, not 2.
UK3. You know, I did quite like this because I like the 2 runways.
Okay, that was part 2 of my question. What do you think about adding a category to a unconventional design challenge?
I think it's interesting. I think if there's going to, I like it when there's more than one design challenge.
Yeah.
I think okay.
Strike that, reverse it.
I think that every season should.
Seizure? I just wrote seizures. Spelling?
I think every season should have a cut and dry, unconventional material sewing challenge.
Yes.
You get party shit. You get,
Ropes and balls and
Yeah.
plastics and papers.
shower curtains. All
Sure,
of that.
yeah.
I just feel like that is a necessity every
Yeah.
season, and it's just like there's a cute theme. The blue ball, the ball, etc. How they do every season up until recently on U.S. Standard Drag Race. However, I also enjoyed the addition of a second fun, like with a twist sewing challenge.
Okay.
Like UK2, Who Wore It Best.
Yeah.
US3, the cake sewing challenge. Like sewing with a twist.
Yeah.
And so
Inspired
I consider a 2-look sewing challenge where one of them is brought from home, kind of like a sewing challenge with a twist, because there's a bit of an embellishment to it that it's not just being judged on the sewn garment. So yeah, that's my thoughts. I like the second look because it feels like it's like a fun, funky extra sewing challenge.
Yeah. I liked this one with this bring a look that you've already had versus make one, because then you can kind of do something cohesive with it. I like this idea more than I like what happened in Canada 5 recently, because I almost wish that first runway had been scrapped and they had to do a performance, because the idea is that it was fast sellable fashion. So if they all had to perform in it, even if it was like a 45-second cut of the same RuPaul song, then can these perform? Can these work if you're trying to make it sellable? But I love the idea of sellable fashion.
Yeah, I would have done it like the eyeshadow palette challenge. Where like maybe this is just like my fashion design degree brain, but like you sew it and then you have to do like a product sheet or like or it's like you're pitching it to like a department store or something where it's like, or like what colors does it come in, like something like that.
Yeah, that's fun.
But yeah, I'm here for like a sewing plus something.
Yeah, me too. I really liked this a lot. So category 1 is Happy Campers. Category 2 is Campfire Couture. I will say no one did it like the Countess. But, I mean, who can?
That is true, because that is literally one of the craziest sewn looks ever.
Crazy.
It does feel like a sibling to Crystal's look from episode 1, the Ivy Kent look.
Oh,
They kind of feel like they're in a similar world. Honestly, like a lot of what the Countess would wear, I think Crystal would wear, and vice versa.
absolutely. Crystal will see you now.
Crystal is like the Count.
I just had to make sure it was clear.
The Countess is like the Crystal's like classy sister, and Crystal's like the more like tacky, edgy party girl.
I just had a really cursed thought.
Oh no!
Do you remember Mercedes was like, "Is that Ariel Versace?
Is that Ariel Versace?"
But I'm thinking like in Drag Race All Winners season 4, and she walks in, and Mercedes Iman Diamond can say, "Is that Crystal Versace?" Because she's gonna win something one of these days.
I can't. It's like that clip from Time when it goes, "That's Mayhem Miller, girl."
Or when Nina Bonina Brown was edited multiple times, you're like, oh my God, it's the second lip sync.
Oh my God, it's the 4th lip sync.
Oh my God, it's the 10th lip sync. Do we want to breeze through these really quick? Let's boot them.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's do something fun.
Let's do it.
So we've got first off Charity Case.
Happy Campers. 2. Campfire Couture. 2.
It's a boot for me only because the back's not finished.
Oh, you didn't like the butt out?
No. But I mean it's a soft boot.
That's valid. It was kind of giving me like Mad Hatter, that hat hair combo.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I liked that.
I like the cohesiveness and colors.
The yellow through line was really cute to me.
Really nice. Then we have Teresa, who I need to say, before I say anything, the owl storyline finally came into focus.
The owl. Did you understand the owl?
So much came into focus and simultaneously nothing made sense at the same time. Because in UK versus the World 2, she does an owl look with smoke coming out of it.
Yes.
And I was very confused.
The smoke that like flooded the entire stage. And yeah.
And they mentioned that she had an owl thing that came in her eye or something in season 3. So I'm like, okay, what's this all about? She says she met her first love and he came in her eye in the middle of the night, but she couldn't find him since she was blind. And her owl friend guided her through the night.
Poetry. Poetry.
Of some kind, slam poetry.
Yeah.
So it made less sense because why was she purple?
Okay, can I say it's one of those things I can't ascribe a specific example of this where it was so bad. Like, not like this was so bad, but like what the worst case of this would be.
Right.
But that thing, you know that thing.
We're on Drag Race.
Where, because it's not even like, am I the villain or Brown Cow Stunning, where they're aware of it and they overplay it.
Right.
It's that thing where they come back and they think something's a thing. And they make it a branding thing. And I'm like, I don't think that caught on the way you think it did.
Didn't we just talk about this with someone that was...
I feel like we did.
In the last season.
Well, but because this is a phenomenon, especially more recently, because everyone's searching for the viral moment. Everyone wants the viral moment. Everyone thinks they have a viral moment.
Yeah.
So I feel like there are certain things where they either feel like they either feel more connected to that moment or they think this was a bigger moment in the show.
Right.
And so they try to like reference it or continuously bring it in. Tasha Salad is a small example of this. I didn't mind Tasha Salad the first time. But by time 3, it's like, I don't think she is doing for you what you think she's doing for you. And with the owl, I feel like I don't think that was as big and memorable of a moment, storyline, whatever, that you think it was. Because even you see, you're like, oh, okay.
Right. I was very confused seeing the original because this is red and the other one was purple. So I was just very confused.
That being said, I boot them both.
I boot both of them.
It's giving Lazy Town villains. They're both villains in Lazy Town.
Yeah. Then we have Ella Day.
The Happy Campers look is such a fierce, like, slap my hand on the ground too.
Yeah.
I love Happy.
That's a shoot for me.
I love that. Speaking of Jane from
so
Tarzan.
Good. Speaking of Jane, yeah, she's here. She's represented.
I fucking love it. And this is what I'm saying. This is that Ella Day I like. Give me campy musical theater costumey production.
She can do costumey really well.
Because she's like, to me, she's a character drag queen.
Totally.
I'm sure there'd be like the who is Ella, but I think she's going to get it at some point. We'll see it.
I hope so.
But
I also shoot the couture as well. By
The
the way.
couture is quite hot. Okay, that is the thing about Ella, though. Is like I said, I would love her to always do characters, but then I do kind of enjoy when she's sexy woman because
Yeah.
she is a hot woman, and
She
I like her
is.
being just like a hot slutty blonde, like in her entrance look. I do appreciate that about her, though. I
Yeah.
love the duality of woman.
I love it.
Jane from Tarzan, and then a slutty bitch in plaid.
Yeah. What do you think about Kitty?
Toot the camper look, boot the sewn look.
I also would agree.
C3PO arm. This is like the Pokemon evolution of Bag of Chips Brillo pad look.
Oh my god.
Because it's like same silhouette, same colors, just it's slightly like upgrade from rock
so
type to
Taste is
steel
the
type.
first. Taste is the first, and then Baga's the second.
And then you trade her holding a metal coat, and she and then she evolves into this. Trade Waltz holding a metal coat. Catch that, T. Am I wrong? Are you gonna look at me and tell
Not
me
at
I'm wrong?
Oh,
And now she's a steel fairy type. Get into it. The type immunities are not to be trifled with, honey.
I would agree. I did like her Kitty Scott Lost. That was really fun.
Yes.
Loved that. I really like Kitty this season. Okay, so I'm gonna toot both of Crystal's looks.
Yeah, double two. Especially that Happy Campers
Happy
look.
Camper is so good.
That was so delicious. I appreciate her love for Emerald Green.
Mm-hmm.
But just like, again, tiny waist,
Mm-hmm.
tits up, nice and perky.
Yeah.
Very old school glamour as well. Like there's something very
Oh,
like
so she's old.
yeah, old
bitch.
Old.
Young bitch trying to be an old bitch.
Yeah, I can't believe she sewed that.
I can't believe it either. I mean, she did get some help from Veronica, who was shown throughout the entire episode, helping everyone.
The Asia O'Hara
The
of
Asia
this
O'Hara.
season.
But like nobody advocated for her at all. And we're like, I honestly think they all wanted her gone. They were like, I'm not saying anything if you don't say anything.
Okay, that was the hard part of it. The awkward part is like, she was like, oh, I was like helping everyone, blah, blah. And there was just like crickets from the other girls. Like no one's like, yeah, she was like so helpful. Like she helped me with this. Like
Right,
it was
she
just like
saved my
her
life.
like saying like why she was struggling. And we're just like, that's rough.
Sorry, that's
Sorry.
rough, buddy. River Medway, I'm gonna go ahead and boot both of these. The biggest problem for me is that the Campfire Couture, why is she a stewardess? That's the thing I don't understand.
Rooftop beach.
Rooftop Beach.
We didn't mention that from Canada, but rooftop beach. You know, airport camp.
Rooftop Beach. Oh, God.
This is a rooftop beach moment.
It is.
Campground flight attendant.
Yeah.
But also, you know, the classic flight attendant look, a mini dress with what's the word? Like sharp, like
What even is that neckline called?
I'm like I can't remember
what
the
that
word.
neckline is called.
But it's like just because she has the like little flight attendant hat and scarf, she's like, I'm a flight attendant. Look at me.
I mean, nearest slutty pink and purple was more flight attendant than this.
I'm fascinated by the map look.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of it. It's just badly executed.
Yeah.
But I love her. It's still a boot
Love
at
her.
bottom. Love her. Thoughts on Scarlet Harlot?
The Happy Campers look is absolutely ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a boot, but I'm so willing to forgive it.
For the Gingham Mermaid?
Because suddenly Marsha Brady emerges
Marsha.
Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Is like suddenly she pulls out these like this woman out of nowhere. Like he's this little like right then. And then she pulls out this like stunning ethereal woman.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like it's so simple.
Sure.
But like this is so fucking delicious.
The lines are really clean.
The clean lines and the way that like the top folds over but it still connects. The sleeve, the way it's all cut, with just that long, sleek, blonde
Marsha
hair.
meets Morticia.
It really is like plaid Morsha.
Morsha.
It really does it for me.
That first one is so egregious, though.
The first one is so disgusting, but I really get why she won, and I can't believe I say that because the first look sucks.
The first look absolutely sucks.
But I'm just like so smitten with that look she made. She is the only bitch on that runway for me. She is so gorgeous.
It was Ella for me.
Fair.
It was totally Ella.
Fair. And I think when I watched it originally, I actually would have given it to Ella because I was like, damn, like Ella did so good.
And now you're totally flipping.
Just something about like
it is very clean.
I remember loving it when she came out in it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, something about, and just like the beauty.
Can I just say I love Morsha. Okay, thoughts on Vanity? I'm gonna boot both of them, but I like what the pink and the black are on the first look. I think the what is this, blue camo? I don't love that.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of like on trend choices being made, just not like coming together correctly, maybe.
Totally.
The orange, I like orange on her, and she wears more orange as the season goes. Mm-hmm. Orange for her is like Raja's purple.
Oh, okay.
And she's so good in that color. Yeah, she looks gorgeous in it, and she could take solace knowing she didn't have the worst two looks of the night.
I think about her in that like lavender jewel tone from Canada.
I was gonna say from the previous episode too, though, as well. She's one of those people though where like she looks good in every color.
Mm-hmm.
She just like she's so beautiful and radiant, and every color compliments her. And like, but especially orange, lavender, like you said, like she's one of those people that like she has the blessing of like she looks gorgeous in like bold colors.
Totally.
Because not everyone looks good in orange, not everyone looks good in purple. Like some queens get in that and they look really silly, because especially if it's not in their usual palette. But even like day to day, like I can't always like throw on like an orange shirt or a pink shirt.
I'd look like I was on fire. It's so bad on my skin.
I look whack sometimes, but like she's one of those people where you could throw like a really like kind of atrocious color on her and it's gonna look super chic on her.
She would look beautiful in like lemon yellow.
Oh yes,
like a lot of people cannot pull that
bright yellow. Yeah, or even that like the kind of like limoncello, like green yellow.
Yeah, it's because her skin is that super deep, rich color that it just sparkles with color on it. Yeah. And I mean, if she were to wear like a black or a white, she would look super sleek and fashion forward.
Yeah.
Like she has the skin tone to pull off so many colors flawlessly.
Agreed. And like, oh God, her skin is so healthy. Yeah. Like it's just like shining.
And I know there was a critique they gave her was like to try and change up the shininess of her skin. But like, I think if she just cut back on the glitter, it wouldn't be as much of a problem.
It might have been how it was hitting on the stage for them, but for me, I'm like, well, her whole body is glowing, and beautiful and like shiny. So why? Like, it makes sense. I don't know. The tights are shiny.
Yeah,
she got her hot dog legs.
Are they hot dogs or legs? Do we talk about it?
Like I said. Vanity can take solace knowing she didn't have the worst looks of the night.
To me, Veronica looks like what Reggie B was trying to sell.
Oh.
Remember that look? She made that look just like this. And she rolled out of bed and had the hair.
So real. It's also giving like
Alice in Wonderland's.
When Blair St. Clair came back and she was like grown up, it's like she came back, but she's punk now.
She's evolved. She's a new Pokemon.
I like designers like Vivienne Westwood now.
Right. Like, what do you think about the sewn look?
The sewn look. I need to stop looking at the look she brought.
Don't look at that one
Which
anymore.
Like
the hypodermic
that's
Sally.
The thing is she brought that.
She packed that.
She literally
in good conscience.
Like a puffer jacket with a belt tied around it.
With that hair.
Looking like the monster from Don't Look Under the Bed. Continuing.
I love the makeup idea, but I mean, it's also disjointed and it's a cylinder.
It looks like the kite that I flew into the telephone like wires and never was able to get again.
And it just electroshocked.
Yeah. It's also like It's like if you ask AI to make a pride flag. Or like you ask like ChatGPT to create a new sexuality and flag.
And it's that.
Yeah.
Totally. It's so atrocious. She rightfully has to lip sync with Vanity. But honestly, like, Teresa's was really bad.
Teresa's was rough. Can I say
lucky.
one more thing?
Yeah.
The hand dipped in black.
Yeah.
Shelizon LaRue also did it.
Right.
I think of that one look where she had that.
Yeah.
I've seen it in other things.
That's coming up, isn't it?
It was
Isn't
in-
Shelizon in 2?
Oh, she's in season 2, right? Not in 1. God, I love Shelizon LaRue.
Pretty sure she's coming up.
I love Shelizon.
We're
I'm
going to
excited
talk about her in a couple
again.
weeks.
Shell. Oh.
We saw Detox do
Season-
this makeup.
Season 8. Did someone do it for the Realness music video?
Realness.
Someone had that hand in either season 8 or 9. Someone did that for one of the parts of the music video.
The realness. The realness.
But it's like,
Catch it.
I don't always understand. Now to me, it looks like they've been dabbling with the Darkhold because that's what Wanda has when she has the book too long and she gets those little black fingers. So to me,
or fisting a blackberry. I don't see anything about it. I mean, in the realness, they're in the neon, so I can't tell if anyone's dipped in anything.
The whole thing of how they recorded an entire video and then did something else.
Yes. Oh, you know what? It looks like maybe Bob did. I can't tell.
It might have been
didn't.
gold. I don't know. I just remember seeing a dipped hand and being like, what is that? Like,
Bob had makeup on her head during the neon look.
she sure did. She sure did. She spilled that paint.
She spilled it. Yeah, no, I hear you. I think the dipped hands are a little contrived. Plus, it doesn't make sense with everything else.
There will.
And with such a story.
This look is super like disorienting with all of the like things that's happening and like clearly the dipped hands with the black upper face, which is also a strong choice.
Yeah.
It's hard to understand what the story is necessarily conveying because the outfit and makeup I don't think are working in unison.
Not at all.
It's also just hard because it's like, I mean, when it works, but she's doing one of those things where it's like, you don't want to lip sync in this, like with how her makeup and stuff is. And it happens whenever, I mean, someone wears a face kini or like isn't fully made up, however they're done. Silky as the cockroach.
Yeah.
That's like a look where it's like, you don't want to lip sync in that.
And you don't want to go home in that. And she even says,
go home in that.
I'm going home in this. When she goes back to the workroom and she's sort of like, you can hear that deflated, fuck, I'm going to be a meme now forever looking like this.
Well, because even like the hair was very flat. And then because she painted the front of it, the hairline was really like.
The lace was fucked up.
It
looked like a burnt tortilla.
Period. I had to charge that one. I had to hold B to charge.
You know, like when the wig line looks like a tortilla because it's got so much crap on it and it's like pulling up a little bit.
When it starts like blistering because it's on the heat too long.
Yeah.
And so it's got like the little like wrinkles around like the ring where it's like if you poked it, it would like deflate.
They don't use a beauty filter in Drag Race Thailand, and it's really disorienting sometimes because it'll show the girls up close, and there's this harsh line across their foreheads. It's really upsetting.
Whoa.
I feel like they used one in season 2, but they're not using one in 3.
They said, nah, we don't need that.
Okay, so the lip sync song is I've Got the Music in Me by Kiki D Band.
It's a good song.
Yeah, it's a really good song. I need you to know that this sent me on a J-hole is what I'm going to call it. I knew this song because Jump 5 covered it in their Dreamin' in Color album.
Oh my God.
So earlier today, I watched all their music videos again, and I watched a documentary about Jump 5 because I was like, this song had me in a hole and had to get out of it.
It awakened it.
It awoken something. Great song. I mean, I really, really feel like this should have been all right, you both lip sync. But we did have someone lose
Yeah.
and leave the competition today. So we're not going to send either one of you home, especially after Veronica went through all the crap she did in the last season.
Yeah, like if anything, fake her out. Make her think she's going home and then save her.
Yeah. I mean, because it results in a top 3, right? At the very end. They could have easily done a top 4 because that was the standard last season. And it is the standard for season 4.
Well, it also feels bad because she goes home right before girl groups.
Yeah.
She never got to do a girl group.
No. It's upsetting.
She went home the episode before girl groups twice in a row.
Twice.
Now that's interesting because, there's the trends of like them going home on the same challenge, but her consistently going home right before a challenge she would probably do well in.
It's very upsetting.
Twice in a row, never being able to sing on the show.
It's so upsetting. Yeah, I was pretty gagged. I'm really glad that they learned their lesson in season 14 in All Stars 8. I think in season 5 of UK, they have someone drop because of an injury and they don't let anyone go home, right?
Yeah, balance it out.
Yeah, I'm glad they learned their lesson after this because it was kind of fucked up.
Yeah, especially because it's like, if they have that thought in the back of their mind of like, oh, like maybe there will be no elimination, and then not having that, this feels like extra crushing.
Yeah. It's always interesting when they don't save someone when somebody leaves unexpectedly. Like when Adore left and they still eliminated Tatiana. Like that was not necessary.
Okay, so then question, how do you feel about if you, for like storyline's sake, with Victoria leaving, do you think for those kinds of things they need to save them in the same episode for like
continuity,
storyline's sake? Or how do you feel about them holding on to it? Like top 6, they're like double safe as because they have that extra slot. Or do you think it's something that they need to address in the same episode immediately?
That's kind of tough because like on one hand, I feel like it should be done right away.
Yeah.
Like if someone leaves that episode, no one's going home tonight.
It's a non-elimination by default.
Right. Like you will still be in the bottom. Your track record is going to get kaplowed and banana slammed. But one of you will win the lip sync and one of you won't. And we'll just call it. If this had been an elimination, you would have gone home.
Yeah.
Wake the heck up next time.
Yeah.
You won't get another chance. That's the end if you lip sync again.
Yeah.
I think it should be resolved right away. In my opinion. Like they did that with Cornbread, didn't they? When Cornbread dropped, nobody went home. When
and someone else.
Heidi went home and left, nobody went home. Heidi home.
I think it ties up the episode.
It does.
Because then it's like, because also if someone quits in an episode or gets injured in an episode, usually them leaving will take over the coverage of who went home over who got eliminated.
Right.
So also just in terms of like, it's kind of unfair for the girls when 2 go home in the same episode. Like obviously Victoria... Victoria... See,
it's so
thank
bad.
God they're both gone after this episode.
That we don't ever have to do it again.
With the case of Victoria, like I think she's much more of a buzz. As much of a big deal as it is Veronica coming back and leaving this episode.
Yeah.
Because Victoria was injured and left, I think it just takes up so much more space in people's minds. So it always is kind of like short end of the stick for who goes home that episode.
Totally. I mean, they could have easily just kept Electra and been like, we're going to hold on to you just in case. All right, she's gone. Come back on in. Use her as a buffer.
Yeah.
Just eliminate her again the next one.
Anisha, if you will.
Yeah. Absolutely. That is the end for part 1 of UK season 3. Any controversial spicy takes before we finish up today? I think only what I've already said before. No one should have gone home with Vanessa, Vivaldi, Veronica, Veruca.
No, I think you're true in for that.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about it. I don't know if I think she won because of the look. I don't always know if I agree with Crystal winning the second challenge.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like they just wanted to have her win 2 episodes in a row. But like...
What if she had won this one and had 3 wins in a row?
Because that's the thing, is I think she deserved, if she was going to get a second win, I think she deserved it in this episode more than the previous
I
episode.
agree.
But it's like, looking at it this episode, her winning wasn't even like, I didn't even consider her when I was talking about my favorites, because for me it was between Ella or Scarlett, because Crystal's already won 2 challenges. She's not going to win this challenge. But like, meanwhile,
she already won the mini. She can't win the main.
But if she hadn't won a last episode, and someone like Teresa had, I would have been like, shoot, is she about to win a second challenge?
Yeah. It would have, I think, made for a little more tension in the season going forward. But in any case, I think she's that girl. I'm excited to see more. I like this cast a lot.
Me too as well. See, I think it just got, this season gets a bad rap because it's kind of like Seven, where it follows a really like renowned, beloved season with a really well-known like final like cast, like really well-known moments.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, UK2 is that girl.
It always will be.
And so I think any season, I'll say that any of the seasons of Drag Race that have followed 2, regardless of how good they are, would have kind of gotten shat on immediately following 2.
Immediately.
I mean, this recent season was really good from what I've seen. I haven't finished it all the way through, but like, I feel like 3 is not weaker than like 4, 5, 6.
Right.
Like, I feel like you could, as great as 4 was with Cheddar and everything, like, you could put the after 2 and people would probably be like, it's so boring compared to 2. Like,
It's
2
a
was so
season
much
13
better.
problem. 12 was so good.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that, like, it's the opposite of recency bias because, like, it's the comparison problem of, like, well, the one before this was amazing.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, it's tricky because I just feel like that was a big part of this season not clicking as much. I think also the cast, how do I say it, doesn't feel as much like the energy of the first 2 casts, where we got a really strong mix of older queens, younger queens, different backgrounds. I mean, we still get the more theatrical versus more club versus more fashion, but I feel like especially the first 2 was like, there was like some like cabaret like theater, and then there was like people who sang live.
There's a
opera,
distinct
15
lack
languages,
of like camp, you know, and old school drag.
It's got the problem a lot of new seasons do in general, which is like everyone's super young.
Everyone's really
there's
young.
not like a ton of like variance.
Well, and also, I don't think this is controversial. They're all white. Why are there only 2 POC? It's River and Vanity, right?
River, oh, and Teresa.
And Teresa.
But it's also like, so far, one of the, wait, no. Except for the, no. Because Anubis, is Anubis POC?
I honestly, oh, yes.
I believe they are, because I was going to say, they
went home first.
It's been POC in the bottom every week.
Yeah. Like, that was also like a big contributing thing for me, as I remember looking at the cast and being like, they're all white.
Super white, and like,
where's the
it's
diversity?
Not like the queens of color get highlighted in a spectacular way.
When All Star 6 had so much diversity in it.
Yeah.
And so I think like that kind of shadowed this one too. Like, damn, they really went out of their way to not pick diversity.
There's a lady, there's diversity.
Right. And then she got injured.
There's your woman.
There's your
diversity.
Here's
Here's
your
a
diversity
chick.
hire.
Take this woman.
Okay, imagine that they made her have to do that Butch challenge though.
That would have been fun.
Yeah.
That would have been funny.
Seeing her do
like
a masculine,
making fun of like men. Yeah.
Yeah. And having to like date a man.
Yeah.
That could have been really,
because she could have played with the subversion of it.
Yeah. Could have been really fun. In any case, that is the end of UK 3 Part 1. Thank you all for listening. Tune in next week where we'll chat the next couple episodes. Remember, you're doing a great job. You're doing the best you can, and that is all you can do. Goodbye.
Bye.
I want to do that Fred thing. It's like, oh.